the Star Wars review. We did one 2 years ago, as you recall, the last film.
We did.
So The Rise of Skywalker's out. I went to see it on Christmas Day with my mum, which was nice, and nice to get out and do that sort of thing. Before I get into the film, though, I thought what was interesting is that it seemed like the audience wasn't there as much as the last few times. So the cinema was only half full. There didn't seem to be much of a drive for it, and I happened to have a fortunate or random discussion with some cinema staff, and they were saying that it was the first 2 days where it was going nuts, and then it just tailed off.
Okay,
which is interesting. So maybe
bit of fatigue. Yeah. Star Wars fatigue finally?
Well, is it 12 films in or 11 or however many they've done now?
Depends how you count them,
that's right.
So I hear.
Or TV shows and whatnot. So I thought that was interesting. But as I recall, I think I said something along the lines of, for The Last Jedi, the last film, that I actually really liked it as a film, but I didn't like it as a Star Wars movie. And conversely, this time around, I'd say the opposite. So it's an amazing Star Wars movie, but it's not a good film. And just to qualify that, I guess, is that the film's got just about everything that you'd want in a Star Wars movie. So you'll love that part of it. But as a film, it's just not shot in a way that, most people probably don't care because they want to get their Star Wars fix. But, me being more inclined to, see it as a film sort of thing, it doesn't have those, it's shot like a TV show. A lot of really tight shots, very quick cutting. Even when you do get those grand vistas and whatnot, they're cut away from so quickly. And that's why I really appreciated from the last film was that the last film actually had those. Like, it had good pacing, it had good cinematic pacing, it had good visuals, etc. It's just that what they did with the Star Wars elements were contentious and possibly not well advised, shall we say.
Okay, and I hear that they solved all that just by blowing them out of the water in this film.
Yeah, that's right. Retconning the whole thing. I've also got my own issues with how, JJ Abrams does this thing. Look, the guy is talented, but I just find that it's just got that TV vibe to it, and he likes to do, it's kind of like an ADHD sort of approach to editing, which I don't really like, but I don't know. I don't know, did we say it last time? Has it gone too far? Is it the fact that Lucas isn't involved anymore that, what's the point kind of thing, or,
It's hard to say. I mean, the only thing I've got to add, which I found interesting, is that generally everyone feels the same way about Star Wars films. They love them or they hate them for the same sorts of reasons, and they probably love them and hate them to varying degrees, but yeah, it's generally fairly uniform. All the Star Wars people that I know that have gone to see the film and have seen all 11 or 12 others and whatever other things in the Star Wars multiverse there are, they're really split. Some love it, some hate this film. And I've never seen that before for any Star Wars film. Yeah. So that's just an interesting point. So maybe that's just a sign that it's gone as far as it can.
Yeah.
And it's not really, there's nowhere left for Star Wars to go. When the fans start loving and hating in equal measures, then we wonder.
Yeah.
And it's a sample size of 5.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, go out, check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I personally loved the Return of the Emperor in the film because he's quite possibly the most evil he's ever been. But that's the thing, like you can tell they brought him back to keep the fans happy, and because he's such a beloved character. And some of the way they did some of the story arcs and whatever, I guess, would give you some closure somewhat, I guess, even if it all felt kind of rushed in the end.
Now, just very quickly then, Princess Leia, did it work or not?
It felt a bit token to me, the way that she was inserted, but it wasn't, bad. So they found a way to use the old footage to, serve a story purpose. And
did she
it did.
Get paid?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. The estate, the kids were happy to allow the footage to be used, I guess.
It was shot in the last movie, though.
Yeah. 2 movies ago, actually.
2 movies ago. So, I don't know.
Yeah, so I know that's sort of been a point of contention as well about how well that worked, but I didn't find it offensive. I don't know if I loved it, but maybe that's my whole approach to these things now.